The subject matter that we're going to speak about today in our Bible verse for the day is not appropriate for children. We're going to be talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very big subject and an important issue in all of our lives. There are lots of people who don't believe in God, including psychiatrists and sociologists, who will tell you how important it is for your own well-being to forgive those who have wronged you. And then there are many religious leaders who also explain the importance of forgiving those who hurt you. But the most famous person who talked about forgiveness was Jesus Christ. He spoke about forgiveness over and over again, and in the Lord's Prayer, he implies that God will forgive us as much as we forgive those who have wronged us. So if we don't forgive those who have done bad things to us, then God can't forgive us of the things that we've done wrong. Our Bible passage for today is found in Matthew chapter 18, verses 21 and 22. In the Living Bible translation, it says this: "Then Peter came to him and asked, 'Sir, how often should I forgive a brother who sins against me? 7 times?' 'No,' Jesus replied, 70 times 7. Sometimes such awful things happen in our lives where someone does something that affects us so badly that it becomes very difficult to forgive. I'm reminded about 2 tragic stories that have happened in recent years that were horrific. One of them was the killing of a mother's 15-year-old daughter. The mother of the murdered daughter, Mary O'Reilly, had a message for the killer. She said, "I will never forgive him. He should never get another chance." These are harsh words, but the killer's actions were far more abrasive. In 1987, Mrs. O'Reilly's live-in boyfriend assaulted and killed her 15-year-old daughter. Are some acts unforgivable? Are some people beyond redemption undeserving of another chance? Acts of forgiveness fascinate the public. Social agencies, religious leaders, and academics have ways of describing and explaining forgiveness, extolling the value and power that it gives both those who are able to offer it and to the ones receiving it, who get a second chance. What sort of strength of humanity does it take to forgive such terrible misdeeds and allow someone to begin again? Richard Clark, an associate professor of sociology at John Carroll University, just outside of Cleveland, Ohio, has interviewed mothers who lost a child to homicide as part of a study on forgiveness. Of approximately 40 mothers he spoke with, more than half said that they had forgiven their child's killer. Another 20% said they were moving in that direction, and the remainder told him that forgiveness was just out of the question. Now here's the interesting part. Several of the mothers who said they had forgiven the person who committed the crime said that once they made the decision to forgive, their lives got better. The anger went away. The stress went away. So what does that say about forgiveness? And then there was the horrific shooting in October of 2006 in a one-room Amish schoolhouse in Pennsylvania. The gunman took his hostages and shot 8 out of 10 girls aged 6 to 13 years old, killing 5 of them before committing suicide in the schoolhouse. The emphasis on forgiveness and reconciliation in the Amish community's response was widely discussed in the media. On the day of the shooting, a grandfather of one of the murdered Amish girls was heard warning some young relatives not to hate the killer. He said, "We must not think evil of this man." Another Amish father noted that the killer had a mother and a wife and a soul, and now he's standing before a just God. And Jack Meyer, a member of the Brethren community living near the Amish, said, "I don't think there's anyone here that wants to do anything but forgive, and not only to reach out to those who have suffered a loss in that way, but to reach out to the family of the man who committed these acts." Now, I believe that these people have taken the advice that Jesus gave us in a very literal way. The mother of the man who killed the Amish school children said to the Amish, "Your love for our family has helped to provide the healing we so desperately need. Your compassion has reached beyond our family, beyond our community, and is changing our world, and for this we sincerely thank you." Now, some people criticized the quick and complete forgiveness with which the Amish responded, arguing that forgiveness is inappropriate when no remorse has been expressed, and that such an attitude runs the risk of denying the existence of evil, while others were supportive of forgiveness. The Amish willingness to forego vengeance does not undo the tragedy or pardon the wrong, but rather constitutes a first step toward a future that is more hopeful. How do we apply these lessons of forgiveness to our own lives? You may not have had such tragic events take place in your life, but I'm sure there are plenty of people who have hurt you in some way through the years. How are you coping with that hurt? Have you forgiven, or are you still holding grudges? If you want the anger and stress that is associated with those things that happened to you in the past leave you, then you have to forgive. Jesus even forgave the people who put him to death. Let's forgive today so that we can have a better future tomorrow. Peter came to Jesus and asked, "How often should I forgive a brother who sins against me? 7 times?" Jesus said, "No, you should forgive 70 times 7. And that is our Bible verse for today. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, this is your chance to do so right now.